Okay, it's time to talk about how to hike the kettlebell back. We just went over what starting position you want for that kettlebell so that you're in a power position when that bell is going to hike behind you and gain momentum. So I'm going to show you one demonstration really quick about how you start the kettlebell swing. So hike, hip snap, and then you keep going for your swing, okay? So what happened there with that hike? First of all, a hike is when you, just like hiking a football, you would hike a football, you go boom and pass it to the QB. I don't know football well, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Well, you want to do the same thing with your kettlebell. You want to hike it back so that your hips can send it forward, right? So think about this as the starting position where you really are able to initiate from. Now, in order to do that successfully, there's a few things that we need to learn, a few rules of the kettlebell game, if you would. When we hike, we have this on area limits, okay? We want to hike the bell high. That means above the knees. Ideally, it means in the crotch, and we'll talk about that. But even when you're doing regular swings, everything is above the knees, never below. So if it's down here, that means we're not hiking far back enough, and we're not going to have the power that we need in order to get into our kettlebell swing. So this is your zone of play, that triangle. The second thing is the only time that I've ever said the word crotch in my whole life is in relation to the kettlebell swing. It comes from another amazing coach that I had when I first started teaching at a kettlebell studio back in New York City, and it has stuck with me because it was so incredibly awkward that I remembered it. Just hike it back far into the crotch. Those were the exact words that were said to me, and to this day, nothing else has stuck. You could say coochie, you could say vajayjay, you could say whatever if you're a male, ding-a-ling-ling, you get the idea. Your arms are back here, so I'm not gonna go all the way down because I want you to be able to see it, but what is said is that this area of your arm is connected to your body, okay? So you can see in this deep area, that's connected, yes? And then you could see out from behind me. So there's a great drill that we do when I was getting my RKC kettlebell certification where we just hiked the bell and somebody held a clipboard behind us. And if the bell didn't hit the clipboard, then we weren't hiking it high enough and far enough back into the crotch, okay? So I'm going to show you 5 of these, and if you're following along with this, you can stop and do 5 yourself. So here we go. We're going to grab onto the bell, angle it towards us, break it in half, do a little dippity dip to make sure the weight's in your heels, hike, back down, hike, back down, hike, back down. So you might notice that you want to lift a little in the hamstrings when this happens. You're kind of fighting that. It's not terrible if you like lift your booty a little, but I want to challenge you to stay low and just hike that bell back, all right? Hike, back down. Notice, this is huge, guys. This is how we form bad habits. When it comes back down, I'm not letting it drag me out nice and far, all right? I'm keeping it right where it started. If you try this and that is an issue for you, then I want you to put a book or even a water bottle, just any little something at the end here. Maybe, ooh, I almost fell. Maybe like just a couple inches away from where you want that bell to land. And then go again, and you'll be forced to not hit that, yeah? So that is your hike. That is the hike. And then what happens after the hike is the hip snap comes, okay? So inhale back on the hike, exhale on the hip snap. It's so important that if we're going into the snatch or we're going into the swing, either one, we understand that the power comes from the ground up. What does that mean? It means I literally want you to imagine an arrow shooting through the ground. There's an arrow radiating power up your body, and it's what helps your hip snap and land in this locked out plank position. The kettlebell swing is never, ever, ever powered by the arms. Those arms are there to hold the bell, and that's about it. Honest to God truth. So if you feel like you're dragging that bell up and it's hanging at any point, it's hanging down like a Christmas ornament, that is a no-no, and it's an indication that we are not using the power from the floor to drive into our hips and upper body, okay? So the next thing here is we're gonna do a little dead stop swing. So a dead stop swing is 1 rep of a kettlebell swing, and it is very often said that it takes more power in order to do the dead stop swing. So if you wanted to add this to your workouts as a progression, then you could totally do that, and you'd still get a great, if not more of a great workout for your hamstrings here. So just 1 rep of the kettlebell swing and then back down. And where people get lost here is once they're up here, they don't really know how to get back down. So remember, hinge and then drop the booty low. So the same way that you start your swing is the way that you end your swing. A big purpose of the dead stop swing is to learn how to start and end the swing, because people forget how to end it. I have clients that I've been training for 7 months, and I still got to remind them that this is not the end of your swing. I got a little annoyed there, didn't I? I'm sorry. I love you. You love me. You're my galentine. All right, so let's see this in action. Drag the bell towards you, break it in half, load that weight in the back. Big inhale, hike, hip snap, back down. Notice when I go back down, it's still staying high in the crotch and then on the ground. So this is an amazing drill to start grooving that, okay? Now, we're gonna go ahead and make this, I'm assuming you guys came into the Snatch Challenge knowing a lot of this. So I wanna move on to the single arm kettlebell swing, because that is the thing that we're going to contrast to the kettlebell snatch. Let's do it.